Okay, here we are. All right. Are you muted still? Let's unmute you.
Yes, I was.
How are you, Jason?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Thank you for coming on tonight. I really appreciate that. Like I was saying backstage, I saw just a tidbit of your live with Scott, and then I was in your hypnosis class.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was hoping you would be on the channel and do some readings. So here we
Yeah,
are.
absolutely. I love doing the readings, so it's
That's
it's fun
awesome.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank
So
you for
how long have you been reading?
That's a good question. I mean, I haven't. It's something I've always kind of done on and off, more so with family and friends. So this is pretty new to me to be doing it online. So,
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
but yeah. I mean, I've been reading in different ways, not necessarily with cards and such, but just tapping into things unexpectedly, and so it's been more of lifelong, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying I'm blossoming in my mediumship, blooming. I'm not sure if I'm blossoming yet, but yeah, it comes when I'm not trying. And I first discovered I could do it while I was reading the tarot, and a couple people would just ask about a loved one. I'm like, I've not done that yet. Okay, let's challenge myself. And it was amazing. And, so I just, yeah, I haven't been on live too much because my job drains me. So, but my summer's coming up. And so I'm going to hopefully spend a little more time on the YouTube.
That's great. Yeah, the cards for me actually are more validating, kind of like my support system. So it's usually what they're kind of like my backup. Like, am I really thinking, is this valid? And then always that they reflect back to me what I'm thinking. So it's like, okay.
Exactly.
It's like my
I agree with
cheerleaders.
that. And I'm an artist, so I collect the decks for their artwork, and it's amazing that the Fool can have so many different messages when you're reading from a different artist. And so that's what I love about it. It's just diving into those images and seeing something different every time. So that's awesome.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, we're going to say hello. We've got a nice group here. So I'm going to start and see if I can scroll up and say some hellos first, and then chat a minute, and then we'll get into some readings.
Okay.
So Kiba was the first in this afternoon before we started. So hi, Kiba. Thank you for coming. And then Viviani came. I was so happy to see everybody coming because this time of night, I'm not sure, who's available, and so happy Jackie's here.
Hi, Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie's everywhere. She's just like a mist. All over. That positive energy mist. I love her. Okay, and Emerald Buddha, thank you for coming tonight. Appreciate you being here. And we have Mel. And Mel, I want to apologize. I've missed the last two lives because one, I completely fell asleep. And the other one, I was upstairs working and I couldn't believe I missed the whole thing. But Mel has a channel that she and Nancy from A Crone's Intuition, they just do some chatting and stuff. And then she's delving into some live readings now. So she's a wonderful storyteller. And then we have Lisa here. Hi, Lisa. Tuesday. Oh, by the way, Tuesday. I'll show one of my decks I'm using. Yesterday was World Goth Day. And I meant to, my intentions were to get up here to do some live readings with some goth decks. And I was just so drained. And by the time I thought of it, it was like, well, it's a little late now.
I didn't know there was a day.
I didn't either until last year, and then it's on my calendar somehow. Google puts every day on there.
Right.
And so are you into gothic stuff or anything?
No, I missed that train.
Yeah. For me, gothic, as far as the energy of the gothic myths, vampire,
well,
yeah,
I could say that.
That kind of gothic. Yeah, I never dressed up as a goth or anything like that, but come Halloween, my sweet country abode turns into a gothic castle.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Viviani. Okay, so looks like we'll have to talk about it anyways, Jason. So Jason has not only his YouTube channel, Discover Your Light, but a website. You want to tell us a little bit about that website?
Yes, it's JasonQHHT.com. And I am a QHHT practitioner, which is a quantum healing hypnosis practitioner that if you are not familiar with Dolores Cannon, it's kind of a spiritual hypnosis, I guess would be the best way to put it, or even borderline shamanic in ways where you're connecting with spirit and spirit guides and your higher self in lifetimes, and also tapping into healing, whether it be physical, emotional, releasing traumas from past lives that you might still be carrying. So it's a really powerful and beautiful experience. I love doing it.
I would love to experience. Now, you do it in person, or you can do it over like a Zoom thing?
It's only practiced in person. It's a safe process, but it is you do experience lifetimes firsthand when you go in. So sometimes those can be pretty traumatic sometimes, and if you were to be experiencing that, and for example, the power went out or something failed.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It wouldn't be a
lost
good
in space almost, right?
Kinda, yeah. Especially if you're burning or anything else, it might not be pleasant. So it's only in person. But I do.
And you live in Canada?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, you're Colorado. I'm sorry. Yeah. I got my C's mixed up.
Yeah. It's and I do other things too. I do it's a psychic soul body wellness, which is just based off of all the information I've gotten from sessions about healing and what causes physical symptoms and things like that. And I do that online, and I also do lighter forms of what you know about past life and present and future life spirit guides type regressions, hypnosis online. I also do spiritual counseling too. So that's kind of developed out of QHHT, where it's just people who are really not sure which direction to go with spirituality, and it's so important right now with the Earth transition and everything else. So
I want to just highly recommend anybody go to his website and look up. Would you consider that one of the workshops, like a workshop?
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
Right. The workshops.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I tried to have a past life regression one other time, and it was a frustrating experience. And this one was as I mentioned to you while you were taking us through a meditation, your pauses were long enough. Where most meditations, even on YouTube, I get frustrated because they keep talking. Okay, meet your spirit guide. Ask them the question. Don't force the answer. It's like, shh, I'm asking my question. And it's very frustrating.
Right. I mean, it's
I appreciated the pauses.
Yeah, it is important to give that space, just because it's your experience and not.
Well, some of us, like myself, who have that too many thoughts going in your head, being an adult, adulting, sometimes it takes longer for me to And so I really appreciated that. So
Yeah.
I highly recommend go to his website and is it up here again? Let's see. Is that it? Yeah. It's also in the description, everybody.
Yeah.
Peek around and sign up for his workshops. I highly recommend them.
Yes.
I hate that I missed. You'll have to do another future one so I can pop in.
Yeah. I mean, the workshops are really great just because it's bringing people together, and it's a safe space to explore, and there's no judgment, and it's meant to be fun. It's not to be serious. I mean, it's just a way to, if you've never had hypnosis before, to really understand what it is, and that we're spend most of our lives hypnotized, whether we see it that way or not.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So it's nothing that's really different from what we normally experience every day. So
yeah. And on a personal level, me, single mom, you do it by donations, and I loved that as well. And you spend quality time rather than some people who donate, you just get a surface version. I appreciated your time that you put into it, and I felt like it was a complete class that people paid more money for.
Yeah.
But you do offer other things that because your time and the time and effort you put into what you do is definitely worth the money.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I love what I do, so it's yeah.
I wish I could. I shouldn't say I wish. I should intend to get more involved in the spirituality and stuff like that. So, I hope to. I'm working towards that. So let's see.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to a couple more people. Joe J. Okay. Joe G is here. I've had a long day. My days start at 4:15 a.m. and
oh wow.
Yeah. So let's see. I've got Sharon. Thank you for coming, Sharon. Some people, it's been a while because I haven't been on YouTube, so I appreciate each and every one of you being here. I haven't even gotten to be in a chat even. There's Brendan. Hi, Brendan. And then I think, Natalie's here. Howdy, y'all. Natalie actually is a neighbor of mine. She's only, I think it was 25 minutes away, so we're going to get together. She's a healer. And then Andrea, 54 Hector, welcome. Lisa, we said hi. Samantha. Hi, Samantha, welcome. Thank you for coming. And Jezebel, I haven't seen Jezebel in a while. You were gone for a while. Well, so was I, but oh my goodness. Oh, Peter's here. Have you met Peter yet, Jason?
I don't believe so.
Peter, Jason. He just created an oracle deck, and
exciting.
It is exciting. So I need to pick that up still. Unfortunately, at the time I was going to pick it up, my air conditioner decided to need an upgrade. Purchase responsibly. All right, Sarah's here. Sarah made it. And then we have Thomas. Hi, Thomas. Or Tom, they call him Tom too. Okay, I have some people here tonight. Are some of these your friends?
I think I've seen a lot of like Jackie and Sharon, Viviani.
I don't take donations at this point yet. I'm not comfortable with that yet. I just want to. I need to grow in my gifts, and right now it's an equal exchange of energy for me. So that's why I don't take donations yet. Being a single mom, I probably should, but that might be another day. And I might, at some point ask, like, Jason, do you take donations? And I can always pop in a link in the future.
I do, but that's new to me too. So
yeah. So I might work. I've been thinking about that a lot, anyways, of asking if my guest takes donations and let them. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So at this point, let me get my banner out here. Ta-da! Welcome, beautiful souls. All right. If you have a question, please put it in all caps for me and use emojis. I can notice them quicker if I see some emojis and caps. And anything you don't like to read on, Jason?
I'm not. I don't get too much into politics.
I was going to say that for myself.
Okay.
Yeah. So no I don't think we ever get them in this.
Yeah.
Anyways. But,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay. So if anybody has some questions, you can start popping them in, and I'll start doing some starring up. And I guess I could have been doing that while we were chatting. Okay, we have Mel. And then Sarah's like, ooh, I wonder what my past life was. So one time I had a reading. I'm going to try to find some questions while I talk. See if I can multitask tonight. Mm-hmm. Jezebel said it was 1 a.m. there. Oh my goodness. Okay, if you do, have a wonderful sleep. Night. Anyways, so I'm of course about Fae energy, and to me, Fae and Fairy are two separate entities. And I went for a healing one time, and she says, you have some hybrid energy in you. And I'm like, what does that mean? I'm okay. And she goes, you're part human and part not. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, like what? She goes, I'm not sure. She wasn't at that level. And I teasingly said, is it fairy? And mm-hmm. Then, so I had another healing done several years later, and as she was she was only intending to do my chakras, clearing them and healing and that, and she said when she got to, I think it was my sacral chakra, mm-hmm. She said she started hearing cheering, yay, Ginger Faye's one of us, Ginger's one of us, we're so happy. And she said that had never happened before. Mm-hmm. And hi.
Oh, sorry, I got all blurry.
And she said she felt elven energy. I'm like, and then I learned about I'll never say this right. Anyways, they're actually Fae energy. Hang on. That comes from other worlds. Hand pink waving. Business outlook, hand pink waving. Apparently she's not on her phone.
I actually had a client who, she's actually another QHHT practitioner that we swapped sessions, and she went to she was a fairy. She was with she was one of the Fae, and it was really awesome. I mean, it was pretty much a life of parties and celebrations, and and she's had several lifetimes as fairies, and her husband in this lifetime now was her husband during that time, in the Fae realm, and they had hundreds of children, but it was like a collective family, so you know
I
it was
hope they like laid eggs like the I don't know if it was the dragonfly. They laid a little bitty tiny little egg like the butterflies, little tiny little eggs. That's the only way you can have.
Yeah, I think it was more energetic. She said it wasn't like
Not
human.
birthing.
Yeah, so it was possible to have thousands of children or hundreds of children.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it was a cool lifetime.
Wow. So yeah, ever since I heard all that, I want to connect a little more with I have it in my head. I just can't speak it. Something like Tuda Day Death Blood. Anyway, all right. I've got some questions here. Are you ready? It'll come sometime. All right. So far, I have 7. So let me read off. If I miss your name, put it in the chat again for me. I have Mel and Joe G. I have Emerald, Andrea, Sarah, Brendan. So if I've missed anybody, please pop in your question again. Tom, did you have one? No, you were just messing with Mel with her painting. Mel, the spirits want you to keep painting tarot cards. I love it. Okay. All right. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Well, let's start with Mel. This is funny. I'm sorry. I've just never seen this before where it's talking the emojis.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times. I'm not really sure what causes that. So, I thought, wow, that must be a lot of work to type all that.
Yeah. So probably an iPad thing. Okay, we're going to start with Mel. Okay. And Joe G has something real quick to say. Real quick. Let me get over there. Fae, fairy, a type of mythical being, legendary. All right, who's Googling? Yeah, so for me, the fairy is all about the happy little, flower hopping being, where to me, fae energy is all about the earth, and the earth, they're just earth beings and caring for the earth. And and I just feel very connected that way. All right, so what happened? Okay. Where did Mel go? Mel, what the heck? Something happened to my screen here. I want to comment and I want to star, and we're good to go. All right. Ready?
I am ready.
Okay, so Mel would like to know what her spirit guides would like a message for her. By the way, everybody, yesterday, I was telling Jason, yesterday was World Goth Day. And so I'm going to do a little, I'll do some tarot. I'll pull 2 tarot, and then I'll pick I blended a deck, dark fairy and unicorns, and the artwork. Oh, here we go. The artwork is so amazing. It's a little gothic, so I'm going to put some of those as well. So, all right. So are you going to be doing cards or?
Yes, I'll be doing oracle cards.
All right, Miss Mel. All right. I'm going to take a moment. Okay, I'll pull a total of 3. Okay. Ooh. Okay. If you're ready, you can go. Otherwise, I just need to shuffle one more deck.
So my sense is that you are. I'll just hold up some of the first two cards I got. So the first one is the grace and the gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands. And also, speaking of unicorns, the gateway. So my sense is that you're on the verge of, I'll just breakthrough. Breaking the trail. So whether it's you're just about to either make a decision, if you made a decision that's different for you, that it's doing it with grace and thankfulness. I think that we often forget to have gratitude for the things that we've experienced, and being able to look back and also be in the present. Being in the present is the most important always. So just letting things happen as they will, and trusting that your spirit team's there with you to help you.
Nice. Okay. Have some more?
That's all I have.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Deep in thought, I thought, are you having a message here? He's having a message. Okay, so what I got, I have the Four of Swords. I'm getting used to this new camera here. So in this particular Four of Swords, I love this, that he's taking a moment to heal. This person's healing, but emerging from him is like the soul of this horse, that it's not meant to be a unicorn, but there's something on it that makes me look, I don't know if it'll focus. Okay, let's pretend. There's a horn. And so for me, is as you're taking time to heal and process some things, this, we'll call it unicorn energy. So it's this creative force that is emerging from you. And the horse represents freedom, first of all. So your endeavors right now, what you're doing right now for yourself is for your healing. It's very important for you to continue to do your painting, do your channel. Just a lot of life force is emerging in this picture. You also got the Sun card. So again, the Sun card is about that emerging out of the darkness into the light, and it's a positive card. Is there an echo here? Is it me? I don't know. Maybe I'll have to. All right, we'll keep talking.
Okay.
Okay, so, and I see to me, it's like this being is holding somewhat of like a pocket watch. So I don't know if that means anything to you. Like a loved one who's passed, but who's probably that used to carry a pocket watch, or maybe you have one, but so it's something to do with time. So make sure you're spending your time doing what you love. And then our little gossip Fae here, Fae of Joy, just like I was saying, doing what you love. Can you see that? I'm about ready to return this camera. It's supposed to autofocus.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I love this artwork. This is Barbieri, and he has some color and some of the gray tones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this Fae is riding a tortoise, so slow and steady. So whatever you're trying to do right now, just slow and steady. Make sure you're enjoying your journey. And so that's the messages for you. Okay. All right, what'd she say? It's hopefully neat. Great readings. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm going to try something here. Because I keep hearing an echo. And I want to see if it's. I haven't had to use the earphone. Wait, it stopped. It stopped. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Say something. See if I can hear you.
Something.
No. Okay. Am I going to echo in here? I'm echoing in here now. Oh my God. Mercury is not in retrograde anymore, right? Okay. So I hope that resonated with you, Mala. Okay. So all right. Next we have get Mel out of the way. All right, Joe G. Okay. Where's May? Okay, a May reading. All right. Joe can hear me repeating myself. What's going on here? Okay. Joe says, Mel says she can't go any slower. That's funny. All right, so.
So the first card that I pulled was for it's going forward. Obviously with the sunlight, so moving towards the sun, which also represents, at least in one aspect, truth. So moving forward in truth or seeking truth. It's interesting. I never noticed the little face blowing the wind above the tree, so it's almost shelter. As you move forward, seeking truth, it seems, I guess from the other cards, that the narrow pathway of treading thoughtfully, and then also it's a time of transformation. So fresh, new living way of living emerges. So I get the sense that it's a time when you need to be, in the short amount of time that's left, a week or so of May, that there may be something that you've been wanting to confront, or some type of dishonesty or distrust that's been occurring within your life, that you are at a point now when you should move forward, whether, cutting ties or confronting someone about whatever that may be. And it would be a transformative, like the phoenix and the ashes. So whether or not that relationship will flourish. So I'm getting relationships. So it may be transformative, but I feel like that could be a dual. It could be ashes that don't rise, or it could be positive and fruitful, for whatever that means to you.
Those are beautiful cards, by the way.
Yeah, they're Denise Lynn.
I don't know what that means. All right, Joe. I was bad last year. I bought more Oracle cards than Tarot. That was unusual for me. Okay, so I have here the 8 of Coins. And that's all about putting in that hard work and that effort. But it's something that you don't mind doing because it's working for something more tangible for you. And again, you don't mind working the longer hours, and maybe it's a project you have to do. Maybe you need to, during this transformative period that Jason was talking about, maybe it's either working towards a goal, or maybe you need to delve into something that will take your mind into more of a meditative state. You know, when you're like, say, even needle pointing, or I don't even know why I thought of needle pointing. Things that are tedious, that take your attention, that you need to really pay attention while you're doing it, really helps take your mind off of other things, but it also frees your mind to be open to receive. I'm going to go to the Oracle card next on that one, because this is so fun. This is called Not a Raven Omen. So this deck is really neat because it's like your first impression. You would see a raven, but it's saying it's not a raven. It's an omen. So ravens are messengers, spiritual messengers. And something you said, Jason, that I paired it with, and now it just went. Listening to your instincts, one of the things, but it's freeing your mind enough to listen to spirit communicating with you that will help you along your journey. Ravens are all magical messengers, so it's kind of like an ancient wisdom off in the distance that you're not paying attention to. Maybe this is what this is. Maybe you're working too hard and not being able to pay attention to it. So I'm getting what you did. Things can go both ways.
Yeah. And now,
yeah.
And I'm also thinking the relationship is the relationship with yourself, and not necessarily someone else, is what I'm kind of tapping into. So the truth, trusting yourself, which I think intertwines with what Ginger just said, and also trusting your intuition and
right. So
moving forward.
Yeah. So if you're into, like what we do with tarot, it's all about tapping in to the divine beings that are around us. So maybe you're being called to work more towards that. Always, I've learned, listening to your guides takes you further down the road than just being by yourself. It's always it's that divine companion, so to speak. Once you make friends with that companion, they can help you in ways you could never even imagine. So, but I also got the Sun card for you as well. So so there is light at the end of the tunnel if you're going through some hard times right now, and just take a moment for a pause to assess things. And that's what Mercury retrograde's about. I know we just came out of it, but I always feel the effects of it a little bit longer, even if they say it's back. So do some inner searching, I think. So hope these resonated with you, Joe. Oh yeah. Okay, hang on. Let me get her here. Okay. The narrow path will matter. The path I choose right. I chose me and peace and quiet and nature today. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. It's okay to, and it's not being selfish, but it's okay to pamper yourself, learn to love yourself. There's no harm in that.
Yeah, our just from the work I do, higher selves often say that we take life too seriously, and it's okay to have fun. Yeah. That's why we're here.
Yeah. It's okay to say, like my son when he was little, me. And I used to say, me, all about me. It's okay to do that once in a while. So
yeah.
Just synchronicity. Jackie put up this little post here.
Oh. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. All right. So, and we would love feedback too as we're giving readings to see if we're off base. So, like both of us caught that there was two paths to a story there. So it helps to have comments because maybe we can touch upon the other path that we weren't thinking about. Does that make sense, Jason?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So Joe's laughing. Are you laughing at me? Are you laughing at me? All right. How you doing there? All right. Let's see. Looking for more comments. We have Emerald next. Message from her spirit guide. Okay.
I always think it's interesting how there's always kind of a theme that develops with the readings, just in terms of guidance.
Right. It's that universal message.
Yeah.
That we can spice it up a little for each. All right, I'm kicking things all over the place. Okay, I can go first this time.
Okay.
Okay, so my first card is the Nine of Wands. I love this image. So for me, the Nine of Wands, in this image, see how he's ascending over these wands? So it's about ascending to a different perspective. It's almost like an out-of-body experience. I don't know if you meditate, but it's almost like I feel like you should do some meditating, and in this meditating, there's some healing going on. And this person's holding a wand with a crystal on it and a dragon. Hello. Trust me, he's there. And there's also a raven on the shoulder here. So that's spirit whispering to you. So it's almost like you need to take some time for healing and communicating with spirit and listening to their advice. And I got the Two of Pentacles. So based on the previous card, this is more about balancing, I think, your earthly adulting with your spiritual path as well. And in here, there's a couple blue jays. So for me, it's like you have two spirit guides or two persons in spirit that are here to help you with these matters and help you balance. And this mobile, do they still call them mobiles? It has butterflies on it, so that's all about the transformative energy. So I feel like you're going through something transformative right now, and try to be in touch with your spirit guides if you don't do that already. And I got the Fae of Logic for you. So those two coins could also mean balancing matters where you when you're faced with something or decision, step back a moment so that you can have a clear mind and use logic rather than reacting from an emotional space. So, and being that there's a full moon in here, so something around the full moon. So maybe you can do some full moon intentions, meditations. I'd like to know if that helps in any way. If you are on a spiritual path, so let me know.
So I got the first one, Storm Spirit and Chaos. I'm having the sense that you have been through a tumultuous time, whether it be in the external world or just within yourself in terms of, I don't know, I feel like it's the spirituality and tapping into yourself. I know that ego tends to override us a lot of times and make us question ourselves. So I feel like that, again, I feel like it's the trusting yourself. Another aspect of that is the forgiveness, which a crescent moon, which I thought was interesting. In that sense, whenever I see the moon on the crescent, I always think of the divine feminine. So whatever that might mean to you in terms of meditation, or grounding with the earth, or creativity, all those things that might be helpful for you to kind of open yourself up in a way. I think with the storm and the spirit, it's important to remember always what happens after the storm, that the sun comes through, and that rain feeds the forest in a sense. So knowing that there will always be a purpose to what you experience, and that there are no right and wrong decisions in life, that it's as long as we learn from those decisions, and then beginning now, taking your first steps. So, starting the journey on the path ahead. So whether it being, the grounding and quieting the storm, again, that might be external or within. And also the forgiveness, I think, is important. We talk about forgiving others, but a lot of times we have to forgive ourselves. Spirit constantly says that we forget that part of forgiveness, that it's also self-forgiveness that's so important too.
Absolutely. Thank you, Emerald. I hope that spoke to you in some way. I haven't seen you in chat, so I hope you were here to hear that. Okay, I just want to give a shout out to our mods who've been plugging you and.
Yes, thank you.
I just got a plug. Thank you. Yeah, I started an Etsy shop, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So Andrea is next. Andrea, if you're still here, Emerald said thank you. And I hope things ease up for you, dear, if you are going through some challenging. Okay, I didn't pop her question up there. All right. Father, he passed away on you. Good to do some mediumship style readings tonight.
Sure.
Okay. I don't have the deck I normally use, so I'm still going to use this one. Okay, so Hector. Take a little time here.
So what's interesting is I got almost the same card from two different decks. So miracles with rainbows, and then the rainbow waterfall with miracles and butterflies. So ultimately that he is at peace, and I don't know, initially it was that losing a father, I think, is difficult in general, but I feel I often tap into the sadness and sorrow that goes with losing loved ones. And it's just important to remember that this is kind of cliche, but it's not goodbye. It's only see you later. So this feels like it was a big loss for you. And just, looking to the rainbow and keeping positive and knowing that he's there and supporting you. And, interesting. This was enough. Sometimes they just kind of pop out.
I love it.
Voyage, which has the almost like he's above guiding you. This is suspended. It's a little smaller whale. So he's carrying you through life and will be with you. And then talking about rainbows, into the rainbow, uncovering treasure beneath the surface lights, great bounty.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So the sense is just, trust, he's with you, and he's there to support you move forward, and not spending too much time lost in remorse and grief, and knowing that you can move forward and find happiness and joy again, if that's something that you've been struggling with.
That's beautiful message. So Jason, I started doing this thing where if there's a animal image in the cards, I like to look up the animal totem. So I made myself a little booklet. And it happens to have the humpback whale in it.
Oh, interesting.
So for you talking about him being her protector and seeing over her, the humpback whale represents peaceful, gentle singer, a record keeper, a protector, a traveler, and telepathy. So I think your father's trying to communicate with you. So if you have thoughts of him, I think those are the moments where he is connecting with you. You're not just thinking of him on a random whim. He's there with you at that moment. So trust in that. And the telepathy, talk to him as if he was there still, and that will strengthen that bond of being able to communicate with him. It also, the whale, your inner navigation always guides you. So like Jason would say, trust in yourself, and he will be a guide there for you. It says, align your purpose and the power of your soul. You are a healer. So I think the message there too is you may be able to help people who are grieving too. So it's interesting that humpback whale came up because most of my cards are sea based. So I have the Page of Cups here. And I'm getting the sense he wants you to remember when you were little. He wants you to remember. I don't know if you guys went to the ocean. I'm just curious because I keep getting all these oceanic images. Hi, Sheila. Sheila popped in. So there's the seahorse in here, and the seahorse and also the sea turtle are all about going with the flow. But the seahorse is about the balance between your, let's just say, your paternal and your maternal instincts as you go through life. Pull on those resources. Then I got the Queen of Cups. So I get the feeling he's kind of like saying, you got this. You're the queen of everything. You can do this. Queens are about making their space sacred. And so make yourself a sacred space where you can go and you can talk to him. And because queens, any cup suit really is all about intuition and that divine connection. I asked for a memory. And I got the moon card, so I don't know what that would mean to you. But again, there's the ocean there. The two companions of the dogs. So I don't know if that resonates with you in some way. And I asked for just a general message for you. He's got the Knight of Pentacles. So this is about taking things slowly. The Pentacles are all about earth. They can be about healing. They can be about resources that are available to you for you to go out and seek these resources to help you out in whatever you're trying to accomplish right now. But like Jason says, no, he's with you. He's in your heart. He's in with you in spirit. What's that say? Joy and delight.
Open your heart to joy.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's true about the Page of Cups. That's all about keeping in touch with your inner child as well. He used to sing Under the Boardwalk. Oh, I got chills with that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I will say, I will say just from the work I do with hypnosis, part of it is when you experience a lifetime, part of the process is you go through the death and are on the spirit side and look back and actually will see your body and see your family or friends or whoever that's there with you. And it's always this blissful release for whoever's passed. And it's always a matter of them saying, I don't know why they're crying for me. It's so, it's so beautiful. I'm home. They don't need to be crying for me. It's okay. It's okay for them to move on. So just knowing that that's one aspect of just hopping on over to the spirit side, but also knowing that most of the time that looking back on your life, you can see where you could have done some things better. And I know you said that he wasn't around when I was little. Just knowing that those things that stand out to you as far as memories, he's, aware of. There's never really an apology because we're here to learn. But it's more of, I could have done that a little bit better. And I just wish you would know that, I see that now. So I just wanted to share that too.
Yeah, and after I saw that he wasn't around you when you were little, I think that was maybe because he was so busy bringing home the bacon, so to speak. He was busy working, and that's what fathers do sometimes. They get so involved in working that they don't have the energy to come home and be the father at the same time. But as Jason said in that humpback whale, I love that message in the humpback whale. He's definitely with you, and he's there to guide you now.
And it's also looking for signs. That's something else that seems to be sticking out to me. So like, how the rainbow just kind of appears sometimes. Most of the time we're not looking for it and it appears. He's probably trying to communicate it with you, like Ginger said, and doing things, and you might question, like, is that my dad? If you even ask the question, it's the case.
Yeah.
You have to trust that too.
Oh my God, Nancy made it. I hope you had a good dinner with your son. I love it. Okay. All right. Okay, so we have 3 left, and after that we'll see how we're doing. We have Sarah Carter. Okay, Sarah would like to know what the next couple months look like for her. She feels some big changes coming her way. Okay, so Sarah. Sarah. Oh, that's too many. You've been making lots of wishes, Sarah. I have the star card. Okay. Make a wish. I'm all cattywampus. Here we go. All right. That was my word of the year last year, cattywampus. Okay, so did you want to go, or do you want me to go?
You started with the stars. I have a lot of stars here too.
You
so
do?
if you want to go, or if you want me to go, it doesn't matter.
I've got things all over the place. Okay, so I have here, okay, I need an oracle. Taking the top one. Oh, I love it. Okay, I love this artwork of Bobby Airy. Okay, so the star card. Star card is a card of after the healing, or you're towards the end process of your healing, and there's hope on the horizon for you. And see all these beautiful stars that's surrounding this person. These are like all your wishes that have gone up to the universe, and they've taken notice to your wishes. And so the universe is working magic for you. I've got the Ace of Wands. So that's always the start of a new path. But be mindful not to hesitate, because some doors are only open temporarily. So if you connect with your guides and get that feeling that it's the right thing to do, go ahead and act on that. I'm going to look up that Jaguar real quick. EFGHIJ. Okay, Jaguars are all about mystery, power, protection, stealth, confidence, and grace. You are an old soul. Walk through life with confidence and grace. You create your dreams. So that's a very important thing to say. We are manifestors, and a lot of us don't know that. And so when you have a dream in mind, picture it, feel it, be in it, act like you already have this dream. Talk about things in the positive sense, and that helps those dreams come to fruition a little more. Contradictory. I've got not a snail, calm. I'm in love with his artwork. Okay. So I'm going to say, this says, through this process of you getting all excited about your new journey, remain calm so that you can think clearly. And it's funny, I got, a path is opening, but take your time with your thoughts and your decision making about this path. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. So these are definitely in line with all that you just said. So navigating by the stars, following your bliss. I mean, the one thing that, regardless of whatever lifetime we're in, the stars always remain constant is something that I've learned and something to remember. So it's both a sense of stability, but it's also, they do provide guidance. So if you are into astrology, trusting in that, maybe tapping into that more in terms of where you might need to go over the next couple of months, and just knowing that and trusting in that the stars are there to help guide us and lead us in the directions that we need to go, which goes along with the trust heart again, with the stillness of the water, and also the divine. I always like to stress the divine feminine and the moon. So tapping into your feminine power, creativity, the stillness. You can take some time and just relax. So this undoubtedly goes with manifestation. We are powerful manifestors. Sometimes we spend too much time wishing instead of actually believing it will be the case. Consistently, it's about, you have to be acting as though that you've already received that which you want and having gratitude for that. It's really powerful practice. It took me a long time to actually trust in it, but it does work. And I'm a big skeptic, even though I do all of this. So my spirit teams smacked me overhead a couple times to get me to get it. So I still question. I'm not perfect, but just knowing that, and then the reflecting pool and stillness.
Oh, that star card had a reflecting pool.
Yeah. So it's also important that sometimes when you ask for things, they might come in ways that you don't expect. So just being mindful of that. Again, from personal experience, I've asked for help for things and it's come in the form of a person, which, it's being open to the answers and not looking for a specific way for that assistance or guidance to come to you, because it can come in many different forms in many different ways. But overall, it seems like you have a lot of wishes, and just knowing that what comes will come and at the right time.
In that last card, is that reflection of the woman, a swan?
Yeah, it's a swan.
Oh, love that. So again, like I was saying earlier, walk in the energy of beauty and grace. And it's very important to walk in gratitude each and every day. The more you walk in gratitude, the more things good come your way. So,
yeah.
Well, I hope that helps.
I'll say the wording is very important. So I wish I had this. I do have it. Thank you so much. I'm so appreciative. And that's how we bring things to manifest. So
yeah. I just learned about that a couple of years ago. It's just, don't say I wish.
Yeah.
I say I am thankful for. Jackie wants to know what decks you're using, Jason.
I gravitated toward the artwork, and so it's all Denise Land. So I have the Sacred Forests.
Oh yeah.
So it's all about like nature spirits, and then the Sacred Traveler.
Oh, so you're a Denise Lynn fan. I don't have either of those decks.
I just found the artwork, so it was, and then the Sacred Destiny.
Oh, nice. Yeah, one day I was going through my collection going, I didn't realize I have several of a couple people's decks because I gravitate towards that artwork.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sarah has her heads up in the cloud. I work with her. She's one of my employees. Her head's always up in the clouds.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling.
And I can say that about her. She does.
Little dreamy.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got Brendan. Brendan is going to college for graphic design and would like to know if any opportunities are coming up for him.
She says she's a huge child. I think we all are.
Hey, I always say if you lose touch with your inner child, that's when you get old. That's why I tell people, and they're like, you don't look that old. And I'm like, I always stay in touch with my inner child and drink tea with honey in it. And listen to rock and roll. That keeps me young.
I mean, aging is all a matter of belief too. That's something I've learned.
Now my body might say different, but
yeah.
Actually, I took one of those quizzes. How old is your mind? And I was happy to hear it said 35. So I was like, hey, I am a youngin'. Okay, Brendan's journey. My cards up backwards. Upside down. Oh. Okay, Jason, I'm going to let you go first on this one because full disclaimer, Brendan is my son.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want to influence the reading.
I can do that. Okay.
Let's get an unbiased opinion first.
I'll be careful what I say. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So the first one is the Pine Spirit, which is all about purification and rebirth. So obviously this is a time for you if you're, I think your mom said you're in college right now. So it's letting go of the past is the biggest thing. So whether or not you've come across some obstacles with opportunities and everything else, so specifically, the graphic design world, just letting, this is about like clutter too. So whether this is getting organized in your present life, wherever you live or whatever you do, maybe
I'm sure he's laughing along with me right now. He's in the process of organizing his bedroom, and I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, which is actually, it's really important because again, it's an extension of our spirit is our space, and so even though it's not always the best thing to do, cleaning and just getting rid of clutter is actually really good for you for stability and also being ready to receive. So looking for opportunities and such. The next card is Valiant Courage. So taking action with passion. Graphic design, I know it's a tough industry, and I know a lot of it has to do with being active and courageous and not being afraid to stand out from the crowd. I kind of had that in my family with graphic and all that, so I kind of know that. I'm trying not to rely on personal experience, but it's important to tap into your inner courage and value and inner worth, because that's half of the battle, is just having, if you don't believe in yourself, other people aren't going to believe in you either. And I think that goes along with love. Yes. So just maintaining love for yourself and love for what you do. Now I'm like tapping into, it's easy to get run down in graphic design, and it's competitive, and so just remembering to stick, trusting yourself and not losing sight of what really made you want to get into it in the first place.
Well, that's wonderful. You can give a little background in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, okay. So I got first the Ace of Coins. So that's the universe giving you the gift of so for me, Ace of Coins is also about creating a sanctuary. So it's funny you mentioned the room and the organizing and stuff like that. I love it. Has two little baby wolves in here, and of course I'm going to look that up. I love this because the wolves are about leadership, teacher, pathfinder, wisdom, intuition, protector, family, loyalty, and willpower. This says you are a teacher, a sage, and a pathfinder. You are being called to take a leadership role in your community and help others to find their way using your wisdom and intuition. So I'm going to do the full reading and then kind of, blend it all together. I'm going to go next to the Oracle card. It's the Protector. And there's a bee in here because the bee is all about community. So something Jason said about getting involved in the community, it's going to help you along. The more you get yourself within that community, that interconnectedness, the farther I think it could catapult you. And as far as the Protector, I just believe that you're divinely protected through your whole process. And bees, I don't know if you've ever seen wildlife films, bees are very protective over their community too. So, and I can say that as he's my son. Even though he's 21, I think he's got an old soul, and he's become a protector. I have a son with autism, and he's taken a leadership role in our family. So this aligns very well. You got the Queen of Coins as well. So again, queens are about non-gender specific. It's about creating your space and then mastering, let's say, what you're good at. So keep working hard. Keep your own. What do I want to say? Flavor to it. That's not the word, but you have your own uniqueness. There it is, uniqueness.
Yeah.
To put into it, and again, like Jason said, keeping your confidence. In this Queen of Coins, you have the owl and the deer. The deer is all about being gentle. The queen is about of earth is about nurturing your creativity, and the owl obviously is about using wisdom, but also connecting with divine wisdom. So I've been working with Brendan on connecting with his guides, and he's learning to trust in them and asking for advice or help, assistance when he's needing it. And that's a good advice for all of us. Our guides are there to assist us, but they can't unless we invite them in to assist us with. And Jason also mentioned earlier, be specific in what you're asking for. You can't, I just lost my, I had a great example that I asked for something one day and I got it, but it wasn't what I was specifically wanting. But you asked for this. So for everybody, be specific in when you're trying to manifest. But all in all, I see a successful endeavor, but it is going to take a lot of hard work and you being involved in the community. You can't do it on your own.
Also kind of pop in for me, and this always kind of comes up with, and I see people that want guidance from their spirit team for career, or they're questioning their job. Like I sell multi-million-dollar real estate, but I'm spiritual. Am I doing the right thing? And they always say it's not what you do, it's how you do it. That was what I just said with the realtor. That was a client I had, and they basically told her, it's like, you, just because of who you are and what you stand for as a spiritual being, you're still doing the work that you should be doing, just in a different way, with these people that you meet with and that who need your presence and your energy. So just being open to opportunities that might come, and not really looking at what it is, but how you would fit into that, and where you would be able to find joy and happiness in what you're doing.
Yeah, and being the leadership role too is, I think all about mentoring. I think you need to find a mentor, but I do believe that you can be a mentor for others in that voyage, so to speak. So, all right. We have Natalie. Natalie is the last question, but I do want to ask, if you do have time, if Nancy wanted a question. Nancy came in late. So Nancy, if you have a question, if you're okay with that, Jason.
Sure.
Okay, so Nancy, if you have a question, you can pop it in, or enjoy the ride. So Natalie, this is why we didn't know you had a question. Look how it can you see your screen?
Yeah.
See what we were discussing earlier. What the heck is this? So I have to know, what device are you using that when you do your emojis that come spelled out? That's funny. What was I thinking? The very Brendan used to be this way. Very literal. It took him such a long time to understand what I was joking. I would joke with him, and he would take it all seriously. I'm joking, I'm joking. And then after a while, it was like, Mom, was that a joke? I'm like, yes, that was a joke. Okay. And now he's the smart ass. No. No, he's I'm proud of that boy. He's that man cub. I call him man cub.
Oh, it's the YouTube emojis that make the spelling out, is what Jackie said.
I've never seen it before until tonight. All right, Miss Natalie. I have a lot to look. Dude, we lost Dude. Natalie, your energy is too strong. It broke the internet. Come back, Jason. Come back. Okay, Miss Dr. Natalie, who's starting a new practice, do you actually have a question? Or are you just wanting to know what your spirit guides? Let me see if that works. All right, Nancy, I got you, sweet face. Okay, so this is fun. Hand pink waving, face green smiling, because I can see it all on my cell phone here. I can see the emojis, and then they're spelling out. I guess I'll let you back in.
Not sure what happened.
So we were just laughing at all they're putting emojis now, and so I see them on my phone, but they're being spelled out up on StreamYard here. All right. No, I said Natalie's energy is so strong it broke the internet. Okay, so Miss Natalie, let me go back. Natalie, are you still here, love? All right. So what we'll do is we'll go to Nancy, and then when Natalie pops back in, maybe I'll message her and tell her to get her bums back in here. All right. So Miss Nancy, dear friend, how am I best able to connect with my guides at this time? All right, Natalie, we'll get to you in a second. We thought you left us. Okay, so Nancy wants to know how she's best able to connect with her guides. I almost don't need cards for that one. So Nancy, you missed that yesterday was World Goth Day, and so I'm using a deck that has dark fairies and unique unicorns. That's always a tongue twister. Just as a homage to the goth. All right. I just want to take a moment again to thank everyone for coming tonight. This was like the best. This is fun. This is the best turnout tonight. It was fun. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
So, the first one I got is fellow travelers. So support is all around you. Interesting that the rainbow's there again. I think too often we think that our guides are that we're not able to connect with our guides, and it's always a message that we're always connected. It's just that we think we aren't, and it's just being aware that we always are. That that doorway's never closed between us and our guides. So just recognizing that even if you might not feel like you're connecting with them, you are in different ways. I'm wondering specifically if it's a matter of seeking more joy and happiness in your life. Sometimes I'm getting, sometimes we forget to thank our guides and our spirit team for helping us and having gratitude for what they do. They love that. So that's always really important because, sometimes we can be like, I need help. And it's always always a good step to have that gratitude. And what I find interesting whenever the dolphins come up, I don't know how well known it is, but I had a client who was a dolphin in a past life. That was very interesting, and I learned a lot about the fact that they are a being that is not originally from Earth, and that they are multidimensional. So what we see, in physical form isn't completely all that they are. They travel intergalactically. It was very cool.
Sounds awesome.
So I think it's not just about the dolphins, but just the fact that, it might be that you are multidimensional. Yeah, I mean, we are, people are waking up to the fact that we are all multidimensional and we all have multiple lives that are going on, and we might have another job and somewhere else in the galaxy that's we're sleeping during that time. So that might be another kind of gateway into dreams are a great way to tap in to your spirit team. So asking questions and doing that work, then it kind of can help us to quiet the ego and be open to that, and just knowing that, just that dolphin energy of just, their unconditional love, which, isn't really a news flash, but it's, they're powerful beings, and they're here. They don't forget that they're multidimensional. They avoided the contract that we all came into this life with, where we forget everything. So they don't have that amnesia. So that's why they're so here. They're in a sense protectors, which goes to show, them just saving people who are drowning, everything else. So just kind of that energy might be helpful for you to tap into too.
That's wonderful.
That's all.
That's wonderful. Yeah, and that makes total sense because how vast the ocean is. Even though it's a contained body, it's still unfathomable, literally, as is the universe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just the way they communicate, telepathy and sound and everything. So brings a whole new level of awesomeness to dolphins. So.
Yeah, it does. Funny enough, I got harmony myself. Okay, so I got, it's not a deer, it's harmony. Oh, here we go. Now, look how it looks corally. Is that a word? Corally.
Sure, now it is.
It's my word. I made it up. Interesting. There's a being behind it. I never noticed that before. Okay, so for me, yet it has butterflies, but still, with you going with the dolphin, it looks like it has coral for antlers and stuff. But either way, so the deer does represent calmness, gentleness, and stuff, but it is titled harmony. So finding harmony and knowing that you are watched over by your guides. Also, I got the Six of Cups, which it's also about harmony. For me, it's about tapping back into that youthful child who looked up at the stars in wonder. I mean, I still do that. I look at the stars and I'm still in awe of the stars, the moons, the clouds, the nature, and I know Nancy is as well. It's got some little dandelion poofs. I don't know if they're still called dandelions when they get poofed. And they become the wishing beings, the little fairies all over them, and they go flying everywhere. I love it. I love dandelions.
I'll admit, I thought you said dandelion poops for a second. So.
That's
like, okay,
what it is.
That's a new one.
That fertilizes the other dandelions trying to bloom. But anyways,
float through the air.
Okay. Shush. Okay. So your question and how to communicate. You know, when we still carry that childlike wonder energy within you, we are freeing our mind still. And that's how we communicate. That's how we open up ourselves for communicating with the divine, is having an open mind, not cluttered with the adulting every day. So for me, this is telling you to take that time to do those things that you still are in awe about and wonder about, and that'll help open you up. I mean, there's so much magical imagery in this card. It's just, I could be here all day. And then I got my favorite hermit, I think, ever. Okay, now for sure, you need to go into nature, Nancy, because it's like he's living in this old tree, and he's now, after taking his time to deeply connect with his inner self, his guides, his spirituality, he's ready to emerge from that old tree that's been protecting him for so long. So I think pretty soon you're going to have that, and I think you already started that. I know Nancy a little bit, so I think you're already starting to that emergence, Nancy, and get out there and do the things you love. Go to the places you love, and she's holding a chair, and so and hold on to those cherished memories, because you know the Six of Cups is all about reconnecting with memories and stuff like that too. So you have that person that you have cherished memories. You can carry that feeling around with you everywhere you go. And it's like you can take him everywhere you go that he couldn't go in his recent years. So if you have something of your husband's that you can take along with you to places too, it's like taking him and his energy with you. But I think you're doing all the right things to be connecting with your spirit guides and your guiding self, Nancy.
I got so wrapped up in the dolphins, I had one more card.
Look at that.
So the Aspen Spirit, so courage. So obviously the castle in the background.
You got to go to Biltmore, Nancy.
Part of this I know too is about being, you're having that strength, but it's also being open and receptive to receiving help. And it's okay to ask for help, that sometimes we forget that we don't have to do things alone. So I don't know, maybe you are, like I said, you are connected with your guides. Maybe you're receiving help, but just being aware of, messages and things that may come in different forms. Like I said earlier, it may not be what we expect, or it doesn't arrive how we want. But just seeing that within certain things we might encounter, that might be some of the help that you need, and assistance and guidance. So.
Absolutely. Okay, so Jason, she lives closer than I do to the Biltmore Estate. Have you heard of the Biltmore Estate?
No.
It's this giant, it's like a castle.
Oh, wow.
And it's lovely to go visit. I haven't been inside it yet, but there's mountains surrounding it. You can walk some trails around it and everything. And so that would be a good place for you to get in touch with nature as well.
Yeah.
But that's what, when you showed me that castle, that was the first thing. Biltmore.
Yeah.
So, all right, we have Miss Natalie. She's here, and I think she wants to know about business. She, let me get rid of her emoji words. That's just, all right. So, Nancy said it's helped her a great deal. Her daughter was married at Biltmore.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Well, hey, this is that nostalgia card. So,
I guess that little push to say, "Hey, you forgot a card. Hold it up," was came from somewhere.
Okay, so I'm back to echoing. I haven't echoed in a long time. All right. So just saying, I love you guys. We have Jason. How long have you been tubing it?
Online.
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
Yeah.
I haven't taken it seriously until as of maybe last October. I had made some videos years ago, and then I just kind of it took some time to get grounded and everything with what I do. So yeah, the YouTube's I'm growing.
Yeah. So I first started watching the YouTube more and getting connected with this community here during the COVID quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
And Simon, you know the Hermit's Cave, Simon? You know him? He started a thing every day at, I don't know, 1 o'clock, I think, or 12 o'clock, my time. And he called it Quarantine Streaming. And it was just this TerraTube community really bonded, and we've become a big family here. And Jackie was one of the first, Jackie and Nancy, actually. So we've known each other. I call them my ethereal friends through the Ethernet. We've got a lot of big old family here, so I'm loving them. So someone named Bora came in. Welcome. So we are on our last question for the night. I appreciate each and every one of you coming. I've had a good time. I hope you too. So let's give Natalie the reading on business. Okay, just take my word for it. She said business up there. Take my word for it.
It's a question about business.
Starting a new business, and I'm pretty sure she wants to know the energies guiding her through this business. All right.
And is this is a business that is being started, or whether or not?
If I may be the little bird chirping here, she's got a healing business that she, let's say, made some transformational changes to it.
Okay.
And I think she wants to expand her practice.
Okay.
Is that it in a nutshell, Natalie? All right. Let's see.
So the first one, I like this card a lot. Wise Woman of the Grove.
That's
Great.
her. That's her.
So I've always, with this card, it's about, you know, being strong in who you are, and also your familial lines and ancestors. So it seems like this transition is more tapping into maybe your familial line, or kind of your roots, so to speak, in terms of the forest. And definitely, I think that your spirit team is confirming that by saying that you are answering the call, and the time is now for you to do this transition. Along with that is the Willow Spirit, which is all about flexibility. So just being open to how things manifest for you. Again, we sometimes get so fixated on something being a certain way that sometimes other ways of doing things may arise that you're not comfortable with, but in the end, it will be a good transition if you just follow through with that. And I think this is kind of your motivation of just building a stronger community with whatever you're doing with your business. There's been a lot of butterflies and rainbows tonight.
Yeah, right? And unicorns.
Yeah, so all about transformation, and, you know, the butterfly, you know, taking flight and going in the direction it needs to go, and, you know, beautiful rainbow in the background. So you're on the right path, and definitely following your heart more so, it seems like, than before.
A heart-led spiritual path. Okay, let's see. All right, so I have got the Nine of Wands. It's funny I have repeater cards tonight. So for me, you know, Nine of Wands, again, it's that last bit of haul after a hard road, so to speak. You've been working really hard at this, but for me in this particular image, he's ascending to a higher perspective on things. So back when you started your business earlier, all was great, but you're in a new spiritual place right now. So you've ascended to where you have a higher perspective, a spiritual perspective approach on how you're going about things. And I got the Ace of Cups. That's an awesome, I love that. I love steampunk too, by the way. So Ace of Cups, when I first learned about Ace of Cups through this, the Mystical Dreamer, when I first started learning the meanings of the card, I was looking in this image, and it was an overflowing cup, of course, but it was hitting something that made me picture it as an image of something coming through this water. So it was like a spiritual awakening to me, and I saw the movement of it. So that's how I feel about this. There's like a spiritual awakening happening within you that you're going to be able to utilize to further this practice. And of course, cups are all about using your intuition. The fishies floating around and going with the flow. So keep going with the current, move along with the times and the current. And of course, these times now are all about homeopathic. Did I say that right? Holistic healing. She's into homeopathic. Am I saying that right? It's just right. Anyways, so we had a play date a couple of weeks ago, and she was asking about oracle cards. And then so I showed her, she was interested in the herbal astrology deck. It's got beautiful images. And she asked me, can you use it to answer any questions? I said, well, let's play. She wanted to know about finances. So as I was pulling them out, I'm like, oh my God, I could see you making those money little manifestation jars, and whatever herb we pull, let's put it in there. And then one card had a crystal on it and everything. So it was a fun thing. So she's now incorporated that into her practice. So I think you're on the right path, Natalie. Then I pulled 2 cards. I got the Not a Snail again. It's calm. So you just know things go slowly. So again, go with the flow. Take it slow and careful. That way you're using precision in each step in the planning steps that you make. And then I got enchantment. Look how pretty that is. Okay, so I feel like you'll have a way of. I see this as you're an enchantress. So you can the magic you have to help heal these people, and it's your energy that they're just really going to be drawn to. And then the more you get out there and put yourself out there, you'll be like a beacon of light, and it'll all come to you. Build it and they will come. All right, my dear. And that was a unicorn in that one too, and that's all about majestic energy, magical beauty. So move forward with beauty and grace and gratitude.
And rainbows.
And rainbows. So it wouldn't surprise me the next week we all see some rainbows.
Yeah, there has to be at this point. I think there's about 10 that popped up tonight.
Joji, thank you for coming. I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. You know I love you guys, and you're just the best. Ethernet family. And I just thank you for coming tonight. It means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And
you're welcome for the giggles. I saw someone said thank you for the giggle. Oh, Joji. You're very welcome.
Oh, the dandelion giggles.
The dandelion poops.
The dandelion poops. I love that. So,
yeah.
Jason, I appreciate you and your energy, and I hope you had a good time. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me play with some cards tonight.
Rainbows and dandelions. Rainbows and dandelion poop. All right, my lovely friends. I bid you all a good evening. And Jason, if you can hang out for a moment.
Sure.
And walk in love and light. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much. So, all right, until next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Ta-da.